If you know me, you know that there's one thing that's always on my mind. Something that keeps me up at night, distracts me from schoolwork and extracurriculars, gets in the way of spending time with my friends and family, and often interferes with my athletic abilities. Food has a very large impact on my life. I'll be doing homework, and all of a sudden I can't concentrate because I know there's a brownie waiting for me in the kitchen. Or, once in a while, I get that motivation to go to the gym right when I wake up. But that motivation is quickly ripped away once I smell turkey bacon coming from downstairs. If you haven't gotten the hint, I love food. I love Chinese food, Japanese food, Indian food, American food, Italian food, and even Ethiopian food. You name it, and I eat it. Except for oysters and whipped cream. I don't mess with those. My relationship with food goes way back. My grandpa, Tata as I call him, used to take me, my sister, and my cousins to Dayton's Sky Room every weekend, where we'd eat some popovers and then go to the basement for some candy and ice cream. When I was just a little older, my parents started taking us to Nami, where I was introduced to my number one base, sushi, and developed a friendship with the restaurant's owner, who is still a friend of ours to this day. And how can I forget about my favorite time of year? Yes, the Minnesota State Fair has been an annual event with my family, where we always get a turkey sandwich, fried cheese on a stick, some Sweet Martha's cookies, and always something new as well. By adding something new into the mix every year, I get introduced to many odd but delicious foods, such as deep-fried pickles with cream cheese. Whatever it is, it's always fun to try something new and share the experience with other people. According to the local food blog, Simple, Good, and Tasty, the top 4 reasons to try new foods are: 1, it's easy to start; 2, the challenge gets more thrilling every year; 3, your own cooking will get more interesting; and 4, you will become a better citizen of the world, but mostly number 4. Food has the power to bring me places I never thought I'd go, like eating alligator at the Atlanta airport. Sure, it doesn't sound like the best idea, but boy, were those little nuggets good. Alligator is actually very common in other countries, but I was scared to try it because eating alligator isn't a large part of our culture. Trying that alligator made me realize that I shouldn't be afraid of something just because it's not mainstream. From a lifetime of such sampling, I've learned that trying new foods is an important part of exploring different cultures. Not only can it make your belly happy, but it opens new doors and results in interesting experiences. So, how easy is it to start your own food journey, you might ask? It's as easy as a one-way trip to Minneapolis' own Eat Street on Nicollet Avenue, a full 17 blocks with over 50 ethnic restaurants and markets from which to choose. From Mexican to Malaysian and Thai to Tibetan, you'll find foods and people from around the world, all right in our own backyard. One of my personal favorites is Marissa's Bakery, a Mexican bakery filled with inexpensive, authentic Mexican breads and treats. I feel cool every time I go because I get to eat good food and pretend like I can actually speak Spanish. And yes, the challenge gets more thrilling every year. I'm proud to announce that my food adventures have brought me to one of the most foreign and exotic places I've ever explored. Maple Grove, Minnesota, home to one of the few Chick-fil-A's in the upper Midwest. Not only did I savor some of the finest chicken nuggets ever made, but I discovered new places like Nadia's Cupcakes, which makes cookie dough sent from heaven, and one of the last standing Cold Stone creameries in the area. All kidding aside, if you are willing to broaden your horizons, you'll be surprised by how many exciting food opportunities exist in our community. For example, the Festival of Nations is like a Disneyland for food lovers like myself. For example, the festival, held every May at the River Center in St. Paul, the event is filled with 30 to 40 food booths representing cultures from around the world. Or for you smart people out there, a better analogy would be the MISP College Fair. For those on the west side of town, there's a Midtown Global Market, an internationally themed indoor public market with small shops, groceries, and restaurants. Without leaving the city, you gain interesting and unexpected experiences such as the ones you would get from actually leaving the country. You can also bring the items you buy here and bring them into your own kitchen. Believe me when I say your own cooking will get more interesting as well. Actually, don't believe me because I can barely make myself mac and cheese. Sorry. Moving on, I guarantee that you'll become a better citizen of the world if you begin exploring foods. And you might even learn a thing or two about your own culture or background. For example, I'm Jewish, and food plays a big role in my family's life. I've learned so much about my background just from my grandma's cooking. My grandma, Lita, makes an amazing brisket that's always part of our Passover meal, and my grandma Didi's matzo ball soup is a big part of our holiday traditions as well. It's really cool to realize that the recipes they use have been passed down from generation to generation for hundreds of years, and now they've shared them with me to do the same. And guess what? I have something to share with you guys now too. I, along with a couple of my friends, just launched a food Instagram and blog called The Guide to Eat Street, or eatstreet_MN. This will be a direct resource to find delicious restaurants that you haven't necessarily heard of before. As a foodie, I encourage all of you to step outside of your comfort zones and start your own food journey today. Whether that means following our Instagram account, eatstreet_MN, trying a new food or trying a new restaurant, or even just cooking. By doing so, you'll discover something new, possibly support a small local business, or even experience something in your own backyard. I've had a wonderful time talking to you guys about food. But more importantly, I hope I've given you a little something to chew on.